So we're currently on Procolored's website here. Just be aware that they do have promotions running at the top because Black Friday is coming up. Be on the lookout for that deal. But if you're watching this video at a later time, there may be a different promotion going on. So let's take a look at some of Procolored's DTF printers. So up at the top where it says shop, I'm going to go to direct to film printers. It's going to show all the different options. There are 40 options to choose from at the making of this video. That doesn't mean that they make 40 printers. That's just how many options that they have and configurations. It can be a little bit confusing, but I'm going to try to break it down and make it easy for you. So as we look at the first row, this right here, these three printers, they're actually all the same printer. They're the A3 13-inch wide, but they just have different options and different packages. So I'm just going to click on the first printer here, and we're going to go over all the options that it comes with. So this is the 13-inch single print head printer, the R1390. Even though it's in the middle here, it's not the second best print head. It's actually the lowest quality of the three. The L1800 is in the middle. The X5, which is the R2000, is the best image quality for the print head. So if you're going to go with the A3 single print head printer, I would recommend getting the L1800. Now before you jump to conclusion and say, you know what, I'm just going to get the DX5, which is the R2000 print head, because that's the most expensive one, so the image quality must be the best. But in all honesty, do not get the DX5. So if and when you need to replace the print head, the L1800 print head costs $360 to replace as of the recording of this video. The R1390 print head costs $320 to replace. So only $40 cheaper than the L1800. Now if you want to go with the DX5, which is also known as the R2000 print head, costs $1,680 to replace that print head. Supposedly there is a difference in image quality between the print heads, but the difference in image quality is very tiny, where it may not be much of a difference. You're going to get a great image print regardless of which print head that you choose, and the people that are buying your prints or your shirts are not going to notice the difference at all. Budgeting reasons and monetary reasons, I think it makes sense to choose either the L1800 or the R1390. And to put into perspective for you guys and take it a step further, not even Procolored's Pro model printer uses the DX5 print head. So that tells you something. Now at the bottom where it says China or American, it's just telling you where the printer is going to be shipped from. And if you scroll down a little bit further, it's going to tell you what comes inside of the box or part of this package. So the second option here, it does show a picture of the oven. So this is just the L1800 model with the oven. I think for Black Friday, they're actually giving the oven away for free. So if we go to the last option on this row, it's the same printer once again, the A3 13 inches wide. It also lets you choose the different print head options, but the difference is they don't send you a roll of film, but they're actually sending you sheets. So if you're someone who thinks that you're just going to be printing sheets, or you prefer to use sheets instead of a roller, then you can choose this option. The printer has the roller feature and the sheet feature included with it. It's just really your preference if you want to use film sheets or roller sheets. But the functionality for both roller and sheets are built into the printer itself. Hope that wasn't too confusing. Now we're going to move on to the A4 format printers, and they can fit on small tables since they're not that big and they don't take up much space. So let's go into the first option for the A4 printer here and see what's available. The A4 printers only come with the L805 print head, and let's see how much it costs to replace that print head if and when you need to replace that print head. So the L805 costs $320 to replace that print head. So the only option that you can choose is with or without the oven. So with the A4 printer, you can only use sheets. There are no rollers or roller options for this printer. So what comes in the box for the A4 printer is the printer itself, a set of ink, and 100 pieces of film, A4 size. So 100 pieces of film that are about the size of a letter page paper. And it comes with the RIP software as with all their printers. Regardless of which DTF printer you get from Procolored, or any company, I would strongly recommend a DTF oven, because one of the most important steps to DTF printing is after you print the image, you have to add a powder coat to the image, and then you have to bake it under heat. So the whole image has to be baked at about 110 degrees Celsius, which is about 230 degrees Fahrenheit. So the oven is going to really help get that image cured and ready to be applied onto the shirt. This saves you a lot of time as well, not having to put your image film into your kitchen oven or a small toaster oven. Bottom line is, you're going to be making money buying this printer, and you're going to be selling these products to customers. These ovens are going to save you a lot of time and money, not having to turn on your big kitchen oven and going back and forth to your kitchen. So do yourself a favor, regardless of which DTF printer you get the oven with it. So their Pro model only comes in one variation, the Pro model. That's it. It's also an A3 format, so it prints up to 13 inches in width. But the difference is this one has dual print heads. The good thing about that is that it speeds up the printing process significantly. The bad thing about that is if the print head ever goes out, you will have to replace both of them eventually. Hopefully they don't both go out at the same time, but if they do, just keep that in mind. And as we scroll down to the key specification here, it tells you what print head it's using. It's using the XP600 print head. So it's not even using the R2000 print head that we talked about earlier on the single print head models. The XP600 print head, which is right here, costs $480 to replace, which is not bad. But this is why I told you guys earlier, I don't recommend anyone buying the R2000 or DX5 print head model. It costs almost $1,700 to replace one print head. And the Pro model itself doesn't even use that print head. Outside of having two print heads, everything that comes with it is very similar to everything else. It looks like they give you a set of 500 milliliter ink instead of 250, but everything else seems to be the same. If you're buying the Pro model and you want the oven, there is an option for that. You just have to scroll down a little bit here. And you do save a little bit of money instead of buying the oven separately. So that comes down to comparing the A3 single print head to the A3 dual head Pro model. Why would one choose the single head over the dual head? And it all comes down to speed. That's it. That's really the only difference between the two models. Every business is going to be different, guys. I can't really say there's one size fits all as far as which printer to get. Depends on your budget, how many prints you're doing. There's a lot of factors that play into that. I'm just here to explain and simplify some of the options that they have and what options are available to you.